Bit of a warning, we got some pretty fucked up shit here. Viewer description is advised. The air was warm, the sun was shining, and every pony in Ponyville was having a glorious day. The town square was bustling and crowded, and busy ponies filled the street. All the pony folks seemed to have somewhere specific to be. All except Rainbow Dash. Her place was in the sky. She tore freely through the air, spinning one way and the next, buzzing the treetops and racing the wind. The blue Pegasus swooped over a schoolyard, much to the delight of children, then climbed several hundred feet and dove, streaking downward as fast as she could. Seconds before hitting the ground, her wings opened and she pulled back into the clear blue. Rainbow felt alive. Suddenly, Dash remembered that she had somewhere to be. She was supposed to meet with Pinkie in 5 minutes. Dash had gotten so caught up in her exercises that she'd nearly forgotten that Pinkie had asked to meet her at Sugar Cube Corner at 3. Pinkie hadn't asked why or what they'd be doing, but Dash knew that with Pinkie, it could be anything. Dash wasn't sure if she really wanted to go, though she was so engaged with her stunts that she thought about blowing off Pinkie to continue flying. But Dash's conscience got the better of her. She knew that it would hurt Pinkie's feelings after all. Pinkie had said it was going to be something special just for the two of them. Dash considered it and thought, why not? What did she have to lose? Heck, it might be more pranking. Pinkie Pie, I might have found a bunch of more fun stuff to pull on folks. And then they had so much fun the last time. Dash kicked in overdrive to make up for lost time and sped to her appointment. When Dash walked up to the store, she was immediately greeted with her host, who was bouncing in excitement. "Yay, you're here! I've been waiting all day," said the jumping pony. "So you ready to get started, Rainbow Dash? I've got everything ready," the pink pony said. Dash psyched herself up. "You betcha, Pinkie. So what you got planned? We gonna prank somebody? I got a couple of good ones I've been thinking about. Or maybe you got some stunts you think I should try. Or perhaps making cupcakes," Pinkie happily announced. "Baking?" Dash was disappointed. "Pinkie, you know I'm not good at baking. Remember last time?" "Oh, that's not a problem at all. I only need your help making them. I'll be doing most of the work," Pinkie explained. Dash thought for a second. "Well, alright. I guess that's okay. What exactly do you need me to do?" "That's the spirit. Here you go." Pinkie handed Dash a cupcake. Dash was puzzled. "I thought I was helping you bake." "You will be. I made this one just for use before you got here." "So is this like taste testing or something?" "Sorta," Pinkie said. Dash shrugged and popped the pastry in her mouth. She chewed a bit and swallowed. "Not bad." "Okay, now what?" Dash asked. "Now," Pinkie informed her, "you take a nap." Puzzled Dash opened her mouth but felt instantly lightheaded. Waves of dizziness washed over her. The world spun and seconds later she was on the floor. When Dash regained consciousness, she found herself in a dark room. She tried to shake her head but found that a taut leather strap held it firmly in place. She struggled to move, but the braces around her chest and limbs glued her to a rack and formed a series of sturdy planks. When she spread her legs wide apart, Dash's wings, the only part of her not tied down, and they fluttered frantically while she struggled to escape. As she writhed, Pinkie jumped suddenly to the line of her sight. "Goody, you're awake! Now we can get started," Pinkie stated gleefully. She bounced in the darkness and quickly reappeared pushing a small cart covered with a cloth. "Pinkie, what's going on? I can't move," Dash said urgently. "Well, duh, that's because you're tied down," cheated Pinkie. "That's why you can't move. I didn't think you need to be told that." "But why? What's happening? I thought you said I was going to help make cupcakes." "You are helping, you see. I ran out of my special ingredient, and I need you to get more." "Special ingredient?" Dash was now breathing heavily and started to panic. "What special ingredient?" Pinkie giggled and responded. "You silly." Dash's eyes widened and her face contracted into fear. Then she started to laugh and said, in a voice bordering on hysteria, "Well, You really got me there, Pinkie Pie. I mean, tricking me into thinking I'm gonna get made into a cupcake. I gotta tell you, this is the best prank yet. You win. You're the best. Pinkie only giggled even more. Aw, thanks, Dash. But I haven't done any pranks today, so I can't accept your praise. Dash was struggling. Pinkie, come on, this isn't funny. Then why were you laughing? Before Dash could answer, Pinkie grabbed the cloth and wiped it off the cart. On the cart tray, containing various sharp medical tools and knives, carefully organized and wickedly sharp, as well as the large medical bag. Dash was now in full panic mode. She was starting to hyperventilate. Her mind raced as she tried to reason with the pink pony. You can't do this, Pinkie. I'm your friend. I know you are. And that's why I'm happy that I've got you here. We get to share your last moments together. Just you and me. Pinkie was skipping again. But the other ponies will wonder where I am. And when clouds pile up, they'll come looking for me. And then you'll get found out. Dash cried in desperation. Oh, Dash, said Pinkie. Don't worry. There are plenty of Pegasus ponies to take care of a few clouds. And besides, no one will find out. I mean, how long do you think I've been doing this? And with that ominous face, the light suddenly came to life and revealed the rest of the room. Oh no! Dash reeled in horror at the image presented to her. The room was decorated with a typical but twisted Pinkie Pie flair. Colors of streamers and drying trails fluttered around the ceiling. Brightly pink skulls of all sizes were attached to walls, and organs done in pastefuls filled with helium were tied to the back of chairs. The tables and chairs were made out of bones and the preserved flesh of past ponies. Dash cringed upon saying this. The wearing party hats made of their own skin. With a thrill of terror, Dash recognized one of them as Apple Blossom's classmate Twist. Dash's eyes started back and forth, and then upon a patchwork banner hanging from the rafters made several tanned pony hides. This is the words "Life is a party" were scrawled out in blood red. Dash's attention was brought back by a party horn, unfurling and tickling her nose. She gasped at Pinkie, who was standing right in front of her. The party pony was wearing a dress quilted from dry skin and bull's eyes with cutie marks. The back of those fluttered six Pegasus wings were all of different colors, and as the Earth pony skipped in excitement, her necklace of several unicorn horns clanked together loudly. Like it, Pinkie? I made it myself. Desperately, Dash pleaded with the smiling pony before her. Pinkie, please. I'm sorry if I did anything to you. I didn't mean it. Please let me go. I promise I won't tell anybody. Oh, Dash, you didn't do anything. It's just that your number came up and, well, I don't make the rules. We can't turn back now. Dash was tearing up. How could this be happening? Aw, don't be sad, Dash, said Pinkie. Look, this'll cheer you up. I brought you a friend. Seemingly out of nowhere, Pinkie produced a brightly painted blue-yellow skull, and it was about pony size, but very defining feature. A beak? Dash got the shock. Is that it? Hey, Dash, let's hang together. These ponies are rainbows. Dweebs, dweebs, dweebs. Pinkie mimicked. I caught her right before she left town. Remember when I left the party for about 20 minutes? There wasn't enough time to play with her, of course. I had to wait until after the party to do that. But boy, am I glad I did. It was worth it for the flavor alone. Griffins taste like two animals at once. It's amazing. I know she didn't have a number like everyone else in Ponyville, but when was I going to get another chance to try Griffin? I probably should have asked where she came from, so I got him some more. But I forgot that. I'll tell you what, though. She was quite the fighter. She lasted a long time, which is a lot of fun for me. I got the chance to play with somebody other than a pony and try new things. It's too bad she had be just a meanie mouth. She said so much bad stuff, I just had to take her tongue out. You know, bad language makes for bad feelings, Rainbow Dash. Dash didn't have anything to say. She just saw the wizard in her tight bonds. Well, said Pinky with an air of finality, that's enough rhyming. It's time to begin. Pointing down Matilda's skull, the pink pony gripped the scalpel in the cleft of her left hoof, and she walked over to Dash's right flank. Without any flair, Pinky placed the blade an inch above Dash's cutie mark and began to cut a circular cut around it. Dash shouted in pain, tried desperately to pull away, but the braces held her still. Finishing the incision, Pinky grabbed a curved skinning knife from the tray, screwing up her face in concentration. She worked it under Dash's skin and sliced the hide away from the muscle. Dash ground her teeth as she tearfully washed the flesh peel off. Pinky then moved to the other side and repeated the process on Dash's left flank. Once she had finished, Pinkie Pie held up both cutie marks in front of her friend and started waving them like pom-poms. Dash just whimpered. Her thighs burned like nothing she had ever felt before. Placing the ragged patches of skin down, Pinky selected a large butcher knife and walked behind the blue Pegasus. Hope you don't mind. I think I'm going to wing it now, Pinky laughed. She grabbed Dash's left wing in her mouth and played with it for a couple of seconds, yanking it back out so sharp the pain reignited the fire in Dash's flanks, and then the stretching the wing out, Pinky brought the blade down hard at the base. Instantly, Dash screamed and thrashed her appendage. The movement threw off Pinky's aim. She tried to hit the cutie mark, but missed and carved a huge slice into Dash's back. Dash, you gotta stay still, or I'll keep missing, scolded Pinky as her friend howled. Pinky took another whack at her target, swung again and again. Blood sprayed into the air, but Pinky realized she wasn't getting anywhere. The blade was just going right through the bone. I guess I forgot to sharpen it. I'll try something else, stated Pinky matter-of-factly, as she tossed the knife over her shoulder, embedding the blade in the table. Through the haze of pain and tears, Dash heard the sound of a metal box opening and closing. Got it! Say, Dash, what do you call a hacksaw? It doesn't hack. Hacking is what I do with a knife. This is a saw. I don't get it. Pinky placed a tool over the mangled flesh of the last attempt. Standing on her hind legs, she worked the saw back and forth on her front hooves, sliced effortlessly through the bone and skin. The feeling of the jagged teeth grinding in her made Dash want to vomit. She watched mumbly as her wing flew over the head and landed with a fluff on the table. Pinky moved to the next wing and started sawing. Dash didn't struggle this time. She'd given up trying to fight and focused on choking back screams of agony. Abruptly, the sawing paused, and Pinky was only halfway done, the wing hanging off by a sliver. Hey, Dash! Pinky piped up. Think fast! Suddenly, Pinky yanked the wing as hard as she could. The bone snapped, but the blue pony's skin held, then tore away. The pull ripped along the strip of flesh all the way down Dash's back to her rump. Her body seized at the unexpected trauma as her pelvis tensed up. Dash felt a warm release between her legs, and her loud, unchanging medley of pain fell through the room. Unable to catch her breath, she blacked out. Dash awoke with a gasp. The stench of urine filled her mucus and caked nostrils, and her vision swirled into a focus. She saw a very pouty Pinkie Pie removing a large adrenaline needle from her chest, stomping her hooves. The frustrated Pinky lashed out at her helpless victim. Didn't anybody teach you any manners? It's very rude to fall asleep when someone invites you over to spend time with them. How would you like it if I came over to your house and went to sleep? Oh, I'm sorry, Dash. You're so boring. I think I'll take a nap. You think I always liked doing this by myself? I told you how exciting when I found you were next. I was excited to have a friend to be there while I worked. But no, you got to be inconsiderate. I thought you were tough. I thought you could handle anything. I had a full stand-up better than you. Do I have a baby to you? Huh. Is that how you want me to remember as you, a baby? As Pinky stopped to catch her breath, Dash blinked and sobbed softly. Her back was in agony, her sides were on fire, and intense pain in one of her legs. As she blinked again, she saw Pinky pop something right into her mouth and begin to chew. Noticing in Dash's stare, Pinky quickly gulped the morsel down. What? Pinkie Pie asked. Oh, this? She held up another piece. Well, while you were asleep, I got a little impatient and I had to help myself to a small sample. I got it from your leg. You're not bad. Want to try some? Without waiting for a response, Pinky shoved a strip of meat into the revolted Pegasus' mouth. Dash gagged and immediately spit it out. Pinky frowned and picked up the chunk of flesh. If you didn't want it, you could have said no. She contemplated the discarded sounding morsel and gulped it up. It's not like you haven't had my cupcakes before. Swallowing, Pinky turned her attention to a small can on the tray. She removed the lid, revealing that it was filled with red-hot coals. Lying on the top of the coals were several large nails, and the adrenaline filled her veins. Dash began to panic again. Picking up the can, Pinky walked over to Dash's left, holding some thongs with her mouth. Pinky carefully picked up a nail and positioned it into a seam between her victim's front leg and hoof. She grabbed the hammer and took a careful aim. No, Pinky, no! Dash screamed. No, no! The hammer came down and the nail punctured Dash's skin. The white hot burning was too much. Dash screamed as she pulled and thrashed at the braces, causing her raw skin to rub and tear. Pinky tried to line up with another nail, but it couldn't find her aim. And letting out a frustrated grunt, when Pinky brought the hammer back, take a wild swing, Dash, and burst out crying and begging, Please stop! Please stop! Please! Pinky rolled her eyes, putting down the hammer and tongs. She walked back in front of her friend and stared pensively at the broken Pegasus. Gilda didn't even try this much when she had a live parasite struck down her throat. Pinky thought for a minute of what to do next, then had a sudden spark of inspiration. Rotating a wheel on a rack, Pinky laid Dash on her back and then moved Dash's hind legs, bringing the can with her. Picking up the tools, and Pinky drove a searing hot spike metal directly into the bottom of Dash's foot as her cart located an enormous battery and controller. When she dragged over to where she was working, she tied copper wires between the terminals and the nails driven into Dash's hoofs, then gave Dash a wink and flipped the switch. Electricity rocketed through Dash's body. The blue pony reacted immediately. Her body seized and her muscles snapped out. Dash's hips thrusted skywards. Her eyes rolled back, and she let out a deep throat shredding cry. Pinky giggled and danced in place, then reached down and turned up the juice. Dash confused uncontrollably, and her bladder emptied once more. After about 5 minutes, Pinky shut off the power and whisked the steam from the singed fur around Dash's hoofs, and the area reeked of cooked flesh and burnt enamel. Pinky rotated Dash upright and tried to snap the drooling. The delirious pony came back into attention. Dash! Dash! Rainbow Dash, wake up! Dash moaned and managed to give a monication of weak acknowledgement. Pinky studied her handiwork, then reached the medicine bag and produced a large syringe. Okay, time for the last round. Dash focused briefly on the needle, which Pinky took as a question to what it was. This little something didn't take the pain away. Pinky informed Dash that she walked around her victim's ruin's back, and Dash flinched as she jabbed the needle lower part of the blue pony's spines, moving front of her again. Pinky leaned down and elaborated. In a few minutes, you won't be able to feel anything below your ribcage. Then you'll be able to stay awake and watch the harvest. Dash started to cry again. Pinky, he choked out. Yeah? I want to go home, Dash sobbed. Yeah, I can see wanting to do that, replied the party pony. Sometimes I want to give up and just say I'm done with this mess and go to bed. But you know what? You can't shrug off your responsibilities. You gotta pull yourself up and meet the challenges head on. That's the only way you're gonna get in life. Dad hung her head and cried. Minutes passed as the drug took effect. Eventually, Dash was completely numb from her chest to her flanks. At this point, Pinky approached with a scalpel. Glancing at Dash and smiling, Pinky made a long horizontal cut across the Pegasus pony's pelvis, just above her crotch, moving up Dash's body. Pinky made a similar incision under her ribs. Finally, Pinkie Pie made a long vertical cut down Dash's stomach, connecting the first two. Looks like I got my eye on you, Pinkie giggled. With a moist, gooey sound, the flap of skin opened. The sight of her own organs and lack of feeling caused Dash's breathing to intensify. Pinkie's carefully sliced open the enamel sac and grabbed her large intestines as she separated the organ from the rest of the digestion tract and pulled out the new cavity. Pinkie grew joyful and laughing when she got at her friend. Pinkie began to make jokes. Dash is growing weaker from the new source of blood loss. Tried desperately to shout and macrame body act. Look at me, I'm Rarity. Pinkie laughed, slinging the intestinal tube around her neck and spraying blood all over the directions. Ooh, isn't my new scarf so pretty? Reaching back inside, she sliced the smaller intestine off from the bowls, squeezing out the excess excrement. Pinkie filled the slimy organ through her teeth and dragged it back and forth. Dentists say you gotta floss every day, Dash. Dash was barely aware what was going on anymore. The shock was causing her to fade. Disappointed, Pinkie dived back to the pony's guts and ramping on her routine. Aw, don't go yet, Dash. Pinkie started pulling out the rest of Dash's organs, pausing with each removal. I know I can't and be a real pancreas. But you know, I'm just kidney with you. You really gotta learn to liver it up. Boy, these jokes are getting bladder. I guess you gotta develop a stomach for them. Pinkie placed the discarded body parts into a bucket, keeping the last one for a bit longer. Ooh, bagpipes, she said, placing the end of Dash's esophagus in her mouth and the stomach in her armpit. She squeezed and spurted out acid and hit her tongue. Ew. Oh, hey, look. There's your cupcake, Dash. Dash didn't hear her tormentor. She had slipped from consciousness minutes ago. Pinkie, not yet satisfied, hit Dash with another adrenaline shot. Dash woke up for the last time, her heart pounding. Warm blood flowed out from the wound in her chest in great spurts. It wouldn't be long now. Pinkie brought Dash around onto her back and straightened the blue pony's chest. Scalpel already. You know, Rainbow Dash, I'm disappointed. I thought you would have lasted longer. I really wanted to spend more time with you before you got here. But I guess it's my fault. I should have taken it a little slower. Oh well, it was really nice knowing you, Dash. The blade sunk into the blue throat and worked its way up to Dash's shin, going back down the Pinkie scalpel, then circled Dash's neck. The last thing Rainbow Dash felt was her skin being cut away from her skull and the metal blade scraping her teeth. Then she was gone. Pinkie stared into a mirror. She had done a really good job, even keeping the eyelids. She winked, and Dash winked back. Pinkie smiled, but still, she was sad that her friend was now gone. Dash only lasted 50 minutes, not nearly long as Pinkie wanted. She looked back at the cavalier hanging in the center of the room. The last of her friend's fluids draining into a pan. Yep, no more Rainbow Dash. As she looked, Pinkie cocked her head and she began to notice the fact that there really wasn't much damage to the corpse. In fact, the pink pony mused. I think an idea exploded into her head. She was good at sewing, and she had all the pieces she had to do was put them back together. Yeah, she just had to do some stuffing and bingo. She would have a rainbow dash forever. In fact, thought Pinky, that's what she'd do for all her best friends when she got the numbers up. She was so excited, she skipped right over to the body, and with her scanner to get started, the cupcakes could wait. But Pinky had a friend to make. Well, what did I think of that? Not gonna get much sleep tonight. Please like and subscribe, and I will do many more. If you have any suggestions of what to read next, put them down in the description. No sex fiction.